news, Spur reported a 22% rise in earnings growth, with revenue for the full year growing by almost 30%. Chief Executive Pierre van Tonder is now in our Cape Town studios and joins us now. Pierre, thank you so much for joining us today. It does seem as though the shining star in your full year results is Captain Doragos. Tell us, what's the secret to that company's success?
Well, I think we bought it approximately a year ago, or just over a year ago, and we always said to the market that we wanted to consolidate the platform, and we want to consolidate the model, and it's been a good contributor to our overall results for the year. Although, you know, we must have a look at that the Spur was still the star in the greater spectrum of things.
You mentioned there that it is one of your biggest contributors to your bottom line. Revenue in that firm alone for the year increasing by more than 250%. Which kind of market are you approaching here with Captain Doragos?
Well, Captain Doragos traditionally has been in what I would call the LSM sort of 4 to 7 market, and we're continuously focusing on those areas. It's been what I would call a regional brand so far. Our intention is obviously to get it into a national footprint, which is taking a bit of time, but we're seeing good prospects for it going forward.
Pierre, you mentioned there that you're looking at increasing your national footprint. I understand that you will be opening up 7 new stores for Captain Doragos. Would you say this is your new growth area in the company?
It's one of the growth areas in the company, but I think we must never undermine the value that the Golden Goose brings, which is Spur. And if we're really excited about the openings of the Spurs that we have in South Africa over the next 6 months, and obviously our African expansion is now starting to get a bit of traction as well. And Spur is the major contributor to profitability within our group.
You mentioned Spur there as well as Panarottis, which in your numbers reveal that the profit or the revenue there has been driven by promotions. How would you explain the science of profitable promotions?
Well, I think it takes on board the franchisee commitment to deliver those value propositions to the consumer. And I must say, if one looks at our results and you look at our overall franchisee commitment to the strategies that we've done in terms of our weekday specials and our value drivers across all 4 brands, it's been a tremendous effort on their side in terms of their top revenue line, which has obviously impacted our revenue line as well.
Pierre, you also have a nice solid number of membership card holders to your Spur loyalty card. How many active users are there exactly?
Well, currently we have on the database, we have 1.4 million users. You know, not the trick, but the principle is to get them to use that card as many times as possible to drive frequency. But I must say we've been very, very pleasantly surprised in terms of the uptake of that of the card. And our intention is to roll that out into Panarottis and obviously enhance our currently John Dory's card as well.
Let's take a look at John Dory's revenue for the past year, rather flat and not performing as strongly as what Captain Doragos did. What's your turnaround strategy there, or how are you looking to increase revenue from that unit?
Well, if you look at the business increased 11% overall as a brand. So part of our principle and our platform was to consolidate that brand as well. It's a well-known fact. A year and a half ago, we had certain difficulties within that group, which we've now come over and so forth. So therefore, we revamped 9 stores this year with a new look and feel. We've introduced some great marketing initiatives which are bringing in the results. And even in the first 2 to 3 months of our new financial year, it's really delivering some exciting results for us.
I understand you also will be opening up several stores, 26 in particular locally. How much money do you have in the kitty for expansion projects?
Well, that expansion on the 26 outlets is obviously driven by franchisee investment and our balance sheet in terms of our cash holdings. One would always have a look at inquisitive on the acquisition side and at the same time to see where we can use our cash resource, which is on our balance sheet, to further enhance our earnings going forward.
I understand you're also looking at entering the African market and expanding in Australia. What exactly is the secret to your success there?
Well, I think Chris was saying it earlier on, Africa is not a place for the faint-hearted, and we've been in Africa for quite a few years now in certain of the countries, and we've developed a very good network with our franchisees there, which are now starting to bear the fruit from a development point of view and opening new outlets. And again, having had a look at that and being very careful and prudent in our African growth forecasts, and as I think Chris pointed out, logistics is a bit of a nightmare in Africa. We're now starting to see the numbers starting to ramp up, and we're looking forward to the next 12 months with our African development. As far as Australia is concerned, it was a bit of a flat year for us from a revenue point of view, however, being a small part of our business. But at the same time, we're seeing opportunities opening for us in Western Australia, which being Perth-based, and we're starting to expand, and we're hoping to open 2 new franchises within Western Australia in this new financial year.
Pierre, are you looking to launch an incentive to encourage franchisees to take up your offer, similarly to what Taste Holdings has done?
Well, you know, I think the National Empowerment Fund and the IDC, and there are certain vehicles that one can drive where you can assist franchisees from a financing point of view. It's also driven by FASA, which is the Franchising Association of South Africa. There's another vehicle that one can have a look at, preferential funding, especially for new franchisees. So we look at Captain Dorigo's, for instance, we're looking at those opportunities to drive growth and at the same time bring new franchisees into the marketplace via the Captain Dorigo's model.
Pierre, just very quickly before we go, there's increased competition in the market with Burger King's recent entry. How are you reacting to that? Yes,
I think it's they've obviously come into the market with quite a bit of marketing and quite a bit of bang. Let's see what they can deliver. I mean, they're a worldwide brand, and there's no question they know what they're doing. South Africa is a highly competitive restaurant industry and a QSR market as well. We've got some exceptionally good operators in South Africa, so it'll be an interesting time over the next 12 to 24 months to see what they can and what they can't do. But I'm sure that they will have a place in the market, and let's watch it. It'll be interesting times.